Greetings, back with another one. Today's video is brought to you by Combatpedia, and I don't know too much about any of the martial arts or the combat sports that comes out of Africa, but there was one particular combat sport or martial art that I've heard before. It's called Dambe. Excuse me, Dambe. And I believe it's mostly found like in West Africa, like Nigeria and stuff like that. Maybe in Chad or somewhere, Niger. But Dambe is like a form of boxing, African boxing. But what's unique about it, they wrap one of their hands. I think it's not both hands, but it's one hand. They wrap their hands like in rope, and they use that as I guess you could say as the power hand. I guess you could say it like that. But Dambe is very unique. Very known throughout Africa. I don't know if it became like a combat sport on the world stage, but it's very much known in the African continent. And today, I just want to react to this video, Combatpedia, talking about what Dambe is and I guess the origins of it and how the sport actually works. But let's get into it.
Dambe is a combat sport originated within the Hausa communities of Nigeria and has deep cultural roots within the region. The opponents wrap one hand in hemp string to fence themselves in 3 grueling rounds, and it is believed that its technical origin came from the striking combat moves, as punches, sweeps and kicks, used by warriors in disputes and in self-defense.
The term
Now you notice their stance is kind of very, very low. It seems like because this art, the sport, you have one power hand, right? But I guess that's that of course that's the hand that's wrapped with the rope. So it seems like this form of boxing is very haymaker oriented, because you see those guys going for the those power punches, man, just really trying to get those knockouts. I wonder if it was like that traditionally, like that. I'm probably sure it was, but of course, if you go back, during ancient times, it. I mean, yeah, they had gladiator stuff, stuff that was sported, but like obviously those were kind of more like life and death situations. So yeah.
Dambe refers to a traditional form of martial art practiced by the Hausa people, primarily in West Africa, particularly in Nigeria.
Going for those hooks, man, those haymakers,
Dambe
man.
itself has multiple interpretations and meanings depending on the context and region. It can be translated as boxing or fist in the Hausa language. However, it can also be associated with concepts such as boxer or fighting with one hand, which reflects the unique characteristic of this martial art.
In its traditional form, Dambe was primarily
It kind of looks like
having later became a unique.
It kind of looks like just the way that one combatant, just the way his stance, where he had that wide stance, it was kind of similar to like a karate stance. It kind of looks like karate, just that wide stance, just going for the hook. It's very to have that wide stance, but in the boxing realm, because normally you see a wide stance like that in like like karate and and tong sudo and stuff like that, and even gong fu. But it's crazy that he that one combat, he had like that wide stance, going for that haymaker, man. And obviously you use the front hand as a guard, right? So it's very, very cool to see.
Form of combat sport, characterized by its distinctive techniques, rules, and equipment.
The sport typically consists of 3 rounds, with each round lasting a specific duration. The competitors, known as Dambe warriors or bare-knuckle boxers, face off against each other within a marked ring or arena. The equipment used in Dambe includes a single hand wrapped in tightly wound hemp or cloth to form a fist. The wrapped hand is referred to as the spear or spear hand. The other hand, known as the shield hand, is left open for blocking and parrying.
I just like how they're really low.
The
You know, it just
objective of a Dambe match is for a fighter to knock down or incapacitate their opponent, using a combination of strikes, kicks, and grappling techniques.
oh, so you can kick as
Strikes are
well.
predominantly delivered with the spear hand, which is used to punch or strike the opponent's head or body. Kicks and sweeping techniques
caught
with
him.
the leg are also employed.
In addition to the physical techniques, Dambe also incorporates elements of strategy, footwork, and evasion. Fighters aim to outmaneuver their opponents, find openings, and deliver powerful strikes while
Stepped over.
avoiding counterattacks.
It originated as a martial art and a form of self-defense, having recently evolved to a combat sport practiced
everything
by
else.
Hausa butchers in Nigeria. It was traditionally associated with the Butchers Guild and was used as a means of self-protection during disputes or conflicts. Over
Like that stance. So it makes a lot of sense what they just said. He said, you know, the leading hand, that's the shield, and then in the backhand, you know, power hand, that's the spear. So with the African warriors, the African fighters, it makes a lot of sense. You know, you have the shield and then you got the spear. You know, it really it traces back to, like, you know, ancient Africa and also, you know, Greece and stuff like that, and the old empire times. You know, you got the spear and you got, but you know, with Africa, of course, it's, you know, the spear is predominantly. Then you know, I guess you could say the sword. It was the spear mostly, especially when you look at the old villages and stuff, and the warriors and stuff like that in the old empires of Africa. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So I mean, just the way that he's standing there, it resembles, you know, him holding a shield, and then of course, you know, the spear stuff. So that's why the stance is very low like that. So it explains a lot.
time, Dambe evolved into a more organized and regulated sport with set rules and techniques.
It is primarily practiced by the Hausa ethnic group, one of the largest ethnic groups in West Africa, with a significant presence in countries such as Nigeria, Niger, Ghana, and Cameroon.
Ghana and Cameroon, okay.
The exact foundation of Dambe as a martial art is difficult to pinpoint due to its origins being deeply rooted in the cultural practices of the Hausa people. However, it is believed to have been practiced for centuries, passed down through generations within the Hausa community.
I don't doubt that at all.
Its modern foundation as a regulated sport can be traced back to the mid-20th century. During this time, organized competitions and events began to emerge, and the sport gained more recognition and popularity beyond the
African
Hausa
warrior.
community.
It holds significant cultural importance within the Hausa community and is considered more than just a sport. It is deeply.
And I like to see all of the combatants. Some of their stances are a little bit, you know, higher, and some a little lower. I would like to see you know, some kicks being, you know, displayed. You probably won't get them in this video. Yeah, but they mentioned that they do kick. I probably have to see another video for that, because I would like to see some kicking techniques. But like I said, it's just unique that they like I said, I'll let them finish up. I'll close out the end.
Intertwined with traditional ceremonies, festivals, and social gatherings, where Dambe competitions are often held as a form of entertainment and celebration. The martial
Yeah, just
art is
haymakers,
also
nigga, like-
associated with elements of spirituality and ritualistic practices. Some Dambe practitioners believe in the use of charms or amulets, known as kara, which are thought to provide protection and enhance their skills.
I like they kicked up the dust.
While Dambe has primarily been a male-dominated martial art, there has been a recent emergence of female Dambe fighters, breaking gender barriers and adding
Oh,
to
really?
the diversity of the sport.
Oh, there you go. You go for the kick. There you go. I like the sportsmanship right there. Yeah. Yeah, man. It is yeah, man. Dambe, the African combat sport, you know, martial art. Like I said, I've heard some inklings about, you know, Dambe years back. I really didn't get too deep into it. But yeah, I just had to, you know, just do a video just talking about this, and because I never really knew about the rules and stuff like that. I mean, they explained everything. I kind of was like more just intrigued, just watching the techniques and stuff like that. But like I said, like I was mentioning earlier, it's just so unique that they, instead of having you know, two power hands, in terms of the wrapping of the rope around the fist. It goes back to the primitive times of ancient African warriors and stuff like that. You have the shield and then you have the spear. So yeah, it's just, I mean, you could trade and you can go back with like any martial art from any country or continent. They have they have that symbolism. Of course, with with the Chinese and stuff, like they had like the animals and stuff like that, and they also have like animal forms and stuff like that in Africa too. I don't know the names of them, but like there's a lot of African you know ways of combat and self defense, and especially during war times. It's a lot of it that comes to Africa that kind of like a lot of people really don't know about, myself included. But I've haven't gotten too deep into them, but I'm going to, because I just wanted, I just like to see what all countries and demographics and cultures have to offer, stuff like that. So yeah, but Dambe was probably the predominant you know combat form of combat out of Africa. But I'm definitely gonna look into a lot. Well, like I said, I did talk about capoeira. Yes, Brazil is formerly mostly known for the capoeira, but a lot of the people, I guess you could say, during the slave trades and stuff like that, a lot of them were shipped down to South America, and capoeira kind of found its way down there. But I think a lot of that capoeira stuff, it came from Africa. I think I really do believe that. And there's probably like animal styles like the monkey styles and stuff like that, the elephants, the tiger and stuff. I think a lot of that probably has roots in Africa too, even though we really don't hear about them that much. You probably have to do a little bit more research and dig deep, because Africa's been, I wouldn't say stripped of a lot of it, but you just don't hear a lot about it that comes out of Africa. It really don't, because it doesn't really become I say it probably doesn't be, because it doesn't become global sports like judo or wushu or like stuff like that. And you don't really see a lot of African stuff being practiced on a global sense. It's mostly predominantly within the continent. But yeah, man, I'm just wanted to react to Dambe, and shout out to all of the combatants who participated in them. It's very brutal from what I just seen right there. And they had a couple of knockout videos that I might just react to. But yeah, man, shout out to the motherland, so to speak. Yeah, man, 31 cents at it. Another one for the archives. It's your brother Bleak signing out. Until next time, you guys. Thank you.